Hello and welcome to this nighttime taste challenge. It is dark, but not for too much longer. Shouldn't be this dark at 5:28 a.m. Central Time, but we are in daylight pretend saving time, daylight saving time. This I have two 40% Canadian blended whiskeys. This is Tennessee Crown Club, introduced in 2013. It's 85% corn, 15% rye. It's aged, like it says down there, 7 years in ex-bourbon barrels and finished in ex-sherry casks. Gives you all that information on the back. Very helpful. I wish all liquor companies would do that, but they don't. Has a wooden cap, neoprene stopper. Runs about $25 per bottle if you ever find it, which is unlikely. I didn't expect to ever find it, but I didn't know it existed. I didn't know that it existed. How could I find it? I was just, looking around at a store on the west bank of the Mississippi River, and I found this. I knew these things ran about 25 because I had seen them around Select Club whiskeys. But let me pour a little bit more. Like I said, I'd seen them around, usually flavored. I think I have enough for one more taste challenge. That's questionable. Yeah. Select Club whiskeys. I know where to find some of those today, 1 mile from here. But I saw this on the shelf for $7.99. I was like, yeah, I'm taking a chance on that. I think it was sent to New Orleans accidentally, incorrectly. I think it's marketed for Tennessee. Tennessee Crown Club is from Canada, though. But they probably just told the store, keep it. And they sold it for that cut rate price. Now, here is Crown Royal XO. No, I did not get a great discount on this. I paid regular price, which runs about $35 per bottle. I think I got it for $32.99. But it was a while ago, before the JB inflation. But XO is usually a designation for cognac and brandy. Cognac is a type of brandy. But and it makes sense because this is finished, not aged, but finished in ex-cognac barrels, casks. So, I guess you could say it's a gimmick. It was introduced in 2014, a year after the Tennessee Crown Club. Comes in this nice gray bag with gold trim, fancy bottle. They have a new updated label, updated bottle. Crown Royal updated all their bottle designs about a year ago. They look sharp, I think. Anyway, made a little hiss there. When you get low in the bottle, they'll hiss. It builds up air pressure. I like it. I see it's a little darker than the Tennessee Crown Club. It's part of what they call their Master Series. So this one is copper, and this one is amber gold. So you figure $10 more for the Crown Royal. We're talking about the normal price, not some crazy Louisiana purchase price. So here's the website. There's the new sharp looking bottle, different cap. XO is a skillfully blended Crown Royal whiskey finished in cognac casks. I think skillfully blended should have a hyphen between those two. That doesn't matter. Finished in cognac casks, resulting in both an extraordinarily complex and smooth expression. This is an elegant whiskey, deliciously balanced with hints of vanilla, spice, and dry fruit. I might go with the vanilla. I don't know about the spice. Dry fruit, yes, maybe. A lot of these whiskeys will have a taste like that dried fruitcake fruit, Mylar bags, and sell to put in fruitcake. Some people make their own. There's the tasting notes. I'm not going to read all that. Here's some other Master Series 12-year reserve. Haven't had it, but I got it I have it. I never tried it, but I have a bottle. I bought it. Barley edition. I've seen it, but it was $170, so I didn't buy it. 29-year-old. Yeah. That is hundreds of dollars per bottle. Hundreds. Very expensive. Haven't had that, obviously. But Crown Royal, over the years since around 1992, they've been expanding their product line. It used to just be Crown Royal, was it? Then they went to Crown Royal Black, I think in 1992. The extra strong, 90 proof, dark, aged in charred oak barrels. And then they just keep expanding it. Some of them, they'll retire and then they'll add a new one. So they just added Crown Royal Chocolate in August 2025. I haven't had it. I know that people are buying it and checking it out. Oh, maybe one day I'll buy it. I don't know. I never even bought the Crown Royal Apple yet. But I'd love to. I'm not so, interested in the flavored ones. I'd like to try some of the more gourmet Crown Royals, like I said, 12-year age reserve, or some of the ones I was just showing. Okay, not really too keen on paying $300 for some of them, $400. Yes, a lot of liquor companies do that. They'll have a flagship, which usually be just premium priced. They'll have some super dupers, and the flavored line. They all do that now. And some will even have like a lower rung, like a budget brand. Crown Royal hasn't done that. But many of your other big liquor companies will have, well, Diageo owns Crown Royal, so they do have some of those. And like Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace, they put out like real expensive products also, which would be hundreds of dollars. But then they'll put out some really low shelf stuff because they want to get that market also. So they'll put out that the T.W. Samuel's whiskey blend thing. I'm calling it a thing like I'm judging it. I am judging it because I know it's cheap. $6.99 I paid for that bottle, but I don't know if it's bad because I never tried it. I tried the old previous version, this T.W. Samuel's American blended whiskey. Wasn't bad, but it wasn't exactly good either. So I didn't miss it. When the bottle was gone, I was like, bye. Wasn't nice knowing you. They do make T.W. Samuel's straight bourbon also, and I've seen it. And it's probably good, but I got too much bourbon at the moment. Like for the next 20 years, don't expect any new bourbon brands on my shelf because I think I counted 17 unopened bottles. You know how long it's going to take me to get through that? That was made by Heaven Hill. T.W. Samuel's. I mean, it wasn't started by them, but they do the same thing. They go around and they buy up other people's stuff. And I think his great grandson started a famous liquor brand. Didn't he start Maker's Mark something? But it's the same old story. These families, you got 4 children and they got 1, 2, 4, 3 kids each. And then so by the time you get down to great grandkids, they're going to start fighting over the company, and then they just sell it. Now, Heaven Hill has held together. They showed the photos of the family. They say they cooperate and everything. And that started by the Shapiro family in 1933. Ian J. Gallo started the same year, I believe, and they still holding together. But that picture keeps getting wider. Here's the owners. And it's like, well, how can that be feasible after a while? But the Bronfen family who had bought Seagram's, they owned Seagram's, but it wasn't the original Seagram's people. The Bronfen family, they did have some internal issues and they did fight over it. and it got pretty bad. And then the winning faction, the faction that had control, they decided to get out of the liquor business and go into telecommunications and social media business and streaming media 25 years ago, because they, I guess, had this insight that it was going to really take off. And they thought that the liquor business was stagnant. Well, that took off too, but they didn't know that was going to, the bourbon. With the bourbon rage, but liquor's tailed off, last 2 years. It's in decline. So social media is not, and neither is streaming media. So, but there was one faction, and the other faction of the family was like, we cannot get out of the liquor business. This is our family heritage, blah, blah, blah. It's wrong to do this. It's terrible. They're like, well, you don't control it, and that's what we're doing. You're going to get your money, so don't complain, but I don't know. I know family businesses that can't get along running a little cafe, it's always a risk. Partnerships are considered a bad business model. But if it works, it works. Okay. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Okay. I think I should be able to tell these apart. Yeah, Heaven Hill's family owned, and I know the Sazerac company, Buffalo Trace, is family owned, but it's one man, William Goldring and his wife. That's it. That's the owners. No board of trustees, no nothing. Them personally, proprietorship. But now they, 90 years old now, almost. So you say, well, what's going to happen when they pass on? Yeah, right. I'm sure there's companies like Diageo, Campari, Pernod Ricard, and so forth watching, say, well, maybe that would be to our advantage. You know what I mean? No, I mean, this smells like just standard liquor. I mean, standard Canadian whiskey. Now, this one seems to have a little more tweak to it. Like, well, what is it? Now, they talked about vanilla on the website, and the cognac casks. I don't know what that would necessarily give it, but I think just being that unusual little tweak, that might be it. But let's go with the taste, see if I can tell them apart. I have so little of this left. I'm talking about this Tennessee Crown Club. I might just knock it out today against Crown Royal Bourbon Mash and be done with it instead of nursing it. I mean, it's almost at a point of it being a joke. And I have so many Canadian whiskeys now, I couldn't even get to the end of them. It just dissipated it down to zero before I could go through. Now, some of those bottles are on the precipice, like this one, of being extinguished, which is going to help. They won't make it but one more round, and then they'll be dumped. So I am going to be able to clear out a lot of what I have on the next round next year. Thankfully, sick of looking at in the cabinet all these almost nearly empty bottles, I got to tell you. Good stuff. And I think this has that sherry tweak. I don't know. I think it does. Let's go over here. Let's see if this is clearly Crown Royal. Yep, it is. I think this is the XO. And it does have a little bit of that cognac. I tried some cognac Friday. I was at a grocery store, and they were giving a tasting because grocery stores in Louisiana sell liquor. And it was De Use. And she said, you want to try De Use with lemonade or this fire tree? So I said, I want to try it neat. Oh, we can't do that, she said, because they want us to do the mix. I said, well, I understand, but I just was curious to see what it tastes like on its own. I never had it before. And she was like, well, okay, I'll let you try it. I didn't demand it. I just asked. And it was very good. It's very woody. Ooh, it tastes like oak. That was a dynamite product. I'd surely love to buy it. But I I got brandy and cognac backlog now, so that's not really in play for anytime soon, honestly. Okay, I'm saying this is the Crown Royal. Oh man, it's the Tennessee Crown Club. Now this is the part where I start making excuses. I feel you on that one. My nearly finished bottle are adding up. Yeah, my friend David got a whole cabinet. He said, "Look at all these almost empty bottles." I said, "You need to." He said he was like, "I need to get rid of these." So I said, "Yeah, just kill it." You know, I mean, what's the point of you looking in there and you seeing all these nearly empty bottles? That's got to be aggravating. I was like, man, I would just every day knock one out. Then eventually you have a cabinet that's half empty. Then you can stock it with new bottles instead of having all this overflow all on the counter. You don't know where to put it. That's got to be aggravating. Luckily, a store gave me racks. They gave me these old liquor racks and beer racks. They weren't going to use them. They were going to throw them probably in the dumpster. They said you could have them. They're nice too. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 of them, and one of them is nearly empty. Some of them are a little too they're not high enough on the shelf, so I can only put a bottle like this. If it's a tall bottle, I can't fit it unless I put it on the top shelf. But yeah, just kill it, get rid of it, and go on. There's no use nursing that to the end. It's like there's no sense to it. Well, I can make an excuse like, well, brandy's made from grapes and sherry's made from grapes. So they're kind of like wine-based liquors. So you can understand the confusion. And I do understand the confusion, but still a fail. So now, the Crown Royal XO justify its extra $10? Obviously not, if I couldn't even tell them apart. So if you're looking at these two and you want to save $10, I guess you may as well buy the Tennessee Crown Club, which, like I say, you're probably never going to see. And I have one last challenge left with it, and that's it. It's gone, and it's done very well. It's the competitiveness of it has been amazing. Because you figure some off brand is going to get killed. No. These off brands, if you want to call them that, these unknown brands, they can do very well many times. You'd be shocked. I'm not shocked because I had enough experience with them to know that they perform. Jason Wickham says, happy Sunday, Jay, in chat. Happy Sunday to you. I'm out of here. Going to go walk half a mile and then turn on the news at the top of the hour. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye. And look for this later today, if I can fit it in time-wise, to finish off the Tennessee Crown Club versus Crown Royal Bourbon Mash, Blender's Mash.